Where is everybody? All right. I have no injuries to update you on. We came out pretty clean there. My hat goes off to our fans. What a great job they did. It's a tough place to play, and they truly are the 12th man in there. So we appreciate them a ton. Defensively and offensively, I thought the coordinators just had great game plans, and with the coaches, the assistant coaches, I thought they did a nice job likewise. And then there were some good personal things that went on. Pat Mahomes, he had a great day, and then Kelce, it was great to see him rolling 6 catches for 78 yards. Hollywood, getting him into the mix, and he did a nice job. Pacheco had a nice day, and all of that because the offensive line played well. Andy Heck does a heck of a job with that, no pun intended. And then 6.1 yards per play, which was great there. It was a positive. And then special teams, I thought our return game was good. We didn't have but one punt, and then we got Bucker a field goal, which was great, man. He did a nice job of that thing, drilled it. And all in all, a good night. I mean, I could keep going here, but it was one of those good nights. So, time's yours.
Andy, you mentioned the line right away. What did you see from Jalen Moore? How did that all play out?
Yeah, Jalen, I thought did a nice job. He just had a baby too, which is a great thing. So last night or early this morning, however you want to put it, but he stepped in. Josh was gone for personal reasons, so for him to step in was a nice thing, and I thought he did a nice job. And tribute to Andy for rolling those guys during the week and getting that part done.
And when did you realize or understand you wouldn't have Josh, and when might you expect him back?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. When he's back, he's got to take care of that, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But we were aware of it. Yeah.
You just learned today, last night.
Does it matter if I?
Coach Reid,
Yeah.
how did y'all go from 13 penalties last week to 0 accepted this week?
Yeah, so penalties are kind of a crazy thing. So it's sometimes they come in waves. So I thought the officials did a nice job, but I thought our guys did a nice job of correcting some of those, with a good conscious effort to put forward there. So, yeah, it was a positive though, really.
Andy, the initial 4th down you went for inside the 10-yard line, just take me through that decision.
Yeah, the decision, I thought it was the right thing to do, especially when you're playing a team that scores a lot of points. But I just thought it was the right way to go. Those are all subjective decisions. And then I know if you talk to the stats guy, they're going to tell you to go for about every 4th down. And Frazier does a good job of keeping it within reason. So, but listen, it was the right time to do that.
Is the way the offenses have been playing last week and the way they started out the game, does that make that decision? Is that kind of swing?
Yeah, well, sure. I mean, it helps when we're doing okay. Yeah, that sure does. Yeah.
Andy, you mentioned the game planning offensively and defensively, but to what do you attribute kind of the surge the last 3 weeks or so and how the offense has been?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've said this, but getting one back was a big thing. Xavier brings a lot of energy, and he can do a lot of things for you. And then he has an attitude there that he brings, and getting Rasheed back in the building, I also think was a big part. I think they felt that they were whole again, at least by body there. So that was positive, having him back in the building.
And you also feel like Hollywood's kind of getting his stride and what you might have thought.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He had a nice day, 4 for 45, a couple TDs. He's a good football player. He loves to play. So I'm trying to give him the ball in many ways. We had the jet sweep to him, which was good, and down in there in the red zone. So that was a helper.
Coach, their first drive was 15 plays, and they got down there and looked like they scored a touchdown. Were you aware of the teal hat?
Yeah, actually, the official told me right away what went on. So yeah, but it was weird. You don't see that very often. It was a different kind of play too. So they're very creative in what they do, and That one, he didn't get set, so that was a problem.
A little weird and maybe ugly at the end of the game. What was your view of what happened out there afterwards?
Yeah, well, you guys saw it. I mean, it was, the guy came up and hit Juju for what looked like no reason. I mean, we're taking a knee, so, that's tough. I mean, put pretty good damage on Juju's nose.
Andy, you scored touchdowns there right before halftime and right after halftime. How big was that in the game?
Yeah, well, they deferred, so they gave us an opportunity to get the ball the second half. We were able to come out and score there, which I thought that was big. Anytime you come out that second half and move the ball a little bit, I think it helps everybody. And then in the first half, it was a good drive. I can't say enough about, the Nagy's, the Blameyers, these guys that put that plan together, man. Connor and the whole group just had some good stuff. Todd Pinkston and his, De Leon, we've added into the mix here, and he gives us a nice perspective from the defensive side, and he's kind of gotten into the offensive part of it too, so that helps just with putting the game plan together. But I thought it was a thick game plan.
Andy, you mentioned Travis earlier, but can you elaborate a little bit on what you see about why he's so effective tonight, particularly?
I think he came back in great shape. I think he's been playing well all along. He particularly these last 3 weeks. So he came back in good shape, though. And at his age, that's important. That's a big thing.
Last one, Sam.
You mentioned the offensive line, but not just protecting on each individual play, but just the impact of what they've done maybe the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, you had asked me that before, and I agree with that they've gotten better as we've gone on. The young guys, or in this case, Jalen jumping in and doing his thing. So it's a good group, and they're physical. I think if you could take something away from this game, when they bear down, they can bear down. So that ends up being important.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, good.
With his fiancée cheering him on from the stands, Travis Kelce delivered a steady, veteran performance as the Kansas City Chiefs fought to climb back to 500 with a much-needed Week 6 win over the Detroit Lions on Sunday Night Football. Despite signs of age showing in recent seasons, Kelce turned in a new season high in receiving yards, helping the Chiefs convert key drives and regain momentum in the AFC West. His connection with Patrick Mahomes once again anchored the offense. Mimoyo Stewart and Mainias Cascais Puidesdo, as Kelce led the team with 7 targets and 6 receptions. While Hollywood Brown found the end zone twice, Juju Smith-Schuster added 57 yards, and rookie Xavier Worthy contributed a touchdown on 4 catches. The game also saw Kelce surpass Jason Witten on the all-time list for most receiving yards in primetime games, another milestone in his Hall of Fame career. Meanwhile, the Lions entered the matchup shorthanded at cornerback, missing DJ Reed, Terrion Arnold, and Avonte Maddox, though safeties Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch fought through injuries to play. Analysts highlighted several prop bets heading into the contest, including David Montgomery's reliable rushing workload, Worthy's emerging role as Mahomes' deep threat, and Sam Laporta's inflated receiving line against a tough Chiefs defense. But it was Kelce's quiet consistency that defined the night. For a Kansas City team desperate to reestablish its championship form, the win wasn't about flashy stats. It was about rhythm, chemistry, and the reassurance that when the game is on the line, Mahomes can still count on Kelce to deliver. As the night unfolded under the bright lights of Arrowhead, the energy inside the stadium shifted from tense anticipation to roaring relief. Patrick Mahomes, facing constant pressure from Detroit's defensive front, relied heavily on Kelce's ability to find soft spots in coverage, something the two have perfected over years of chemistry. Every time Mahomes scrambled or rolled out of the pocket, it was Kelce who instinctively adjusted his route, turning broken plays into first downs. On the sideline, cameras caught Taylor Swift smiling proudly, clapping after one of Kelce's pivotal third down catches, a moment that quickly went viral across social media. For the Chiefs, this game wasn't just about numbers. It was about identity. After weeks of inconsistent performances and growing questions about their offensive firepower, Kansas City looked more like the team fans remembered, calm, calculated, and resilient when it mattered most. Mahomes finished with over 250 passing yards and 3 touchdowns, while the defense, led by Chris Jones, held strong in the red zone, forcing 2 critical field goals. For Detroit, the loss was a wake-up call. Their defense, though tough, couldn't contain Mahomes' improvisation or Kelce's precision. And with mounting injuries in their secondary, they struggled to contain Kansas City's deep threats late in the game. By the time the final whistle blew, the Chiefs had not only secured a vital win, but also reignited the belief that their championship window is far from closing. As fans poured out of the stadium chanting, "Chiefs Kingdom!" Kelce waved to the crowd. His grin saying it all, and the spark was back, and so was Kansas City's swagger. After the game, the atmosphere in the Chiefs' locker room was electric. Laughter, cheers, and the sound of reporters scrambling to capture post-game quotes. Patrick Mahomes praised Kelce's leadership, calling him the heartbeat of this offense, while head coach Andy Reid said the veteran tight end's presence changes everything for their game plan. Kelce, ever humble, brushed off the praise, saying, "We just needed to remind ourselves who we are, and tonight we did." That simple statement summed up what fans had been waiting to hear all season. The Chiefs had struggled with rhythm early in the year, but this win proved that their chemistry, experience, and belief still set them apart. Meanwhile, on social media, clips of Kelce's performance and Taylor Swift's reaction flooded timelines. Hashtags like #SwiftyKingdom and Mahomes Magic began trending within minutes, blending football fandom with pop culture once again. Analysts on ESPN and Fox Sports called it a statement win, saying it re-established Kansas City as a legitimate Super Bowl contender. Across the league, rivals took notice. The Chiefs were finding their stride again. Even with challenges ahead, the message was clear. Underestimate this team, and they'll remind you why they're still the dynasty of the decade. And for Kelce, the night symbolized more than just stats. It was proof that leadership, love, and legacy can all coexist under the brightest lights of the NFL. As the cameras dimmed and the crowd filtered out of Arrowhead, one thing was clear: the Kansas City Chiefs were back in rhythm, and Travis Kelce was once again the heartbeat of it all. From crucial third-down conversions to record-breaking milestones, his performance reminded everyone why he remains one of the greatest tight ends to ever play the game. Patrick Mahomes found his groove, the defense held strong, and Taylor Swift's proud smile from the stands became the night's viral cherry on top. For Chiefs Kingdom, this wasn't just another win. It was a statement, a spark of the magic that built their dynasty. And as they look ahead to the rest of the season, one thing's for sure: when Mahomes and Kelce are locked in, anything is possible. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more updates, highlights, and behind-the-scenes stories from around the NFL. Because trust me, this season's just getting started.